lights go on and the pay-per-view goes live at a major MMA event, the cameras and the fans see all. But I can tell you from experience, that's not all there is to see in the life of a fighter. Recently, Chris Leben gave our crew some unprecedented access leading up to his fight against Brian Stann at UFC 125 in Las Vegas.
Next up, the co-main event of the evening in the middleweight division. Brian, the All-American Stann versus Chris, the Crippler Leben.
It's New Year's Eve in Vegas and everyone is hitting the strip. Everyone except Chris Leben. Lounging in his hotel room is all he wants to do after cutting weight for his UFC 125 fight against Brian Stann.
That was my favorite trick whenever my roommate would have a girl over. In the morning I'd say, hey Chad, I'm fresh out of vouchers, can I get one of yours? Love to say that.
My name is Greg Thompson. I'm one of Chris Leben's trainers, and I've been helping him prepare to fight Brian Stann January 1st at UFC 125. He made weight no problems, just like the last few times he's competed, and we're just going to really look forward to taking it to Brian Stann tomorrow night.
I'm done thinking about the weight loss. It's water under the bridge now. Now it's consume as many calories as possible. I'm not actually eating all this junk foods.
Chris doesn't really like a lot of excitement, a ton of people around, and all that stimulation. He actually likes the complete opposite, which is just low-key and mellow. And being in Vegas and the large casino like the MGM Grand, it's sometimes really hard to escape that.
In the weeks leading up to UFC 125, there was a big push in the media to make this fight the bad boy Chris Leben versus the clean-cut All-American military hero. Chris's opponent, Brian Stann, wasn't buying into the hype. All he saw in Leben was a tough opponent and a chance to prove himself in the cage.
How excited were you when you got the call and that was the guy that they offered for you?
I called them. You know, I watched those fights, and it was right before my last fight, and I remember saying, man, I would love to fight that guy. This is a guy who's very, very tough, the toughest guy, I believe, on the UFC roster, other than me, and talk is cheap, so I want to prove it, and I know I can win this fight.
Really think he's the toughest guy on the UFC roster?
In the purest sense of the word, yes, I do.
He trains really well, but when it comes time to step in the cage and fight, he steps it up another level. Some guys, they struggle with that a little bit. You've really, really got to get them in a place mentally to get in there and compete. Not Chris. He doesn't really need much motivation to do that when it comes fight day. He kind of does that on his own really easy.
Before the fight, we're getting ready to go to work. Job ain't over yet.
The bad boy image is the furthest thing from the truth when talking about Chris Leben. He was soft-spoken and gracious enough to let us be there as he prepared to do battle. It's not because he wasn't prepared or ready for Brian Stann. Chris came in focused and ready to compete, and sometimes in MMA, a hard right hand can snatch victory away from you, just like that.
Brian Stann and Chris Leben, ladies and gentlemen.